Testing, testing. 1, 2, 3, testing.
Hey guys, can we just get a quick audio check, please? How's the audio levels?
G'day, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome here to what is now race number 9 here for the Aussie Racing League's Division 2 Championships. Thank you very much for tuning in here for tonight's races here for 35 laps around the likes of the Hungary ring. As always, you're still joined here by one Baz, one old mate James to bring you all the action here tonight. And well into the second half of our season here, James. Still quite a contested battle for that first place spot.
Yeah, the battle is still very, very heated with almost anyone's championship here in terms of the Drivers' Championship.
Going to be a very tough race out here today. We're already seeing a lot of guys coming out fairly early on, of course, out here on the bright sunny Hungary here for the moment. A little bit different to last week when we had the slip and slide. That was Singapore, of course, at Marina Bay for last week. That was quite some torrential rain coming down, both for the qualifying and the end of the race. It's quite a spectacle to see. If you missed that, definitely go check out the VOD for that. You can check it here, of course, on our Twitch channel after this one. But yeah, I think the guys tonight are going to be a little bit happy to see this nice and dry here. But the track choice, I think, might be tough one for some of these guys. It's not really, I want to say, one of the more hyped up tracks. Hungary, it's still a great track nonetheless, but it's not what we'll say like one of those typical fan favorite ones, right, James? Ones that you see a lot of guys that put a lot of time into, like, say, Monza or Suzuka or even Monaco for a joke every now and again.
Yeah, a lot of people find this track really difficult. They say, it's very demanding, very technical track, and it has, they're right, it has a lot of these really technical corners and things like that, and not a lot of incredibly easy overtaking opportunities. There are the 2 DRS zones, but the second one is very, very short, so...
Yeah, we want to bring up, of course, right, some of the drivers that are here with us. We still have some of the, I'll say the main names, right, the big name favorites coming in. Of course, your Drivers' Champion leader, and Kankara, of course, still out here with Aston. Chu rocking up, of course, SGN, Fluxy, Kevin on Earth, Wow Wobsy, a lot of the top guys used to seeing, but one of those, we're missing a driver. So Alpha here tonight, going to be subbing in Mo Riab here for tonight's race. Of course, we had a fantastic race between the likes, of course, of Fluxy last week as well, and the Alpha sub there. But he's not going to be here with us tonight, so Kikai might be relaxed a little bit more, of course, after that one, because that was a very tough race for him there in Singapore. But we do have a couple subs in here tonight, filling in a few positions, but most of the field looks like is going to be in here ready to go to fight for some of those, was they like last second points going to be.
Yeah, well, I don't think he can relax too much because he's not leading the Drivers' Championship by too much, and this is going to be pretty close, I think, this race. Hopefully, we've got our first times coming in right now. We've got a 1:16 for Shinudi, 1:16.1, 1/10 faster for Cairo, and I thought the other Ferrari, I thought Drummer was on a hot lap there as well, but it seems like he must have had a bit of a mistake and aborted that lap because he's coming in much, much slower.
Yeah, might have caught up with some traffic as well. That can be a big problem here. We've got some Hungary ring. There's not really too many optimal overtaking positions out here on this track. It's really one where you got to keep your head down, keep that pace up, and well, first we'll get a good qualifying position from the get-go and hope that you don't get caught out through a lot of the track. We know that we'll say that the whole Sector 2 area is a minefield for a lot of these cars to be caught out. I'm already seeing, I believe, that was Shinudi that was caught out, slid out there as well. Drummer's
actually DNF'd
already.
He's gone for a back-to-back hot lap there after he aborted the other one, and it's
Let's have one with Bassing real quick to have a look to see. He's right in the middle of the track.
It looks like he lost it through that fast right-hander. Turn 4, correction, fast left-hander, sorry, turn 4. Maybe just took a bit too much curb or just tried to take it flat. So I know some people can take it flat, but personally I find it very difficult to take that corner flat, even with 1111 wings.
And you got to feel bad for Drummer as well, of course, one of our academy casters for the Aussie Racing League. You got to feel real bad for him because it's basically 1-for-1, like last week at Singapore. Of course, it was the rain that caught him out there. He got taken out of the qualifying, and then he got taken out in the race in the exact same spot with only a few laps left to go. So that was really terrible for him, and he's been caught out once again with a not so great time. That will probably mean he'll most
Yeah,
likely be at the back there with Moriab to start off. But I
that
mean, hey, could be a blessing in disguise. You never know.
that 136 was obviously his aborted hot lap at the very start there. That's not going to stand. He's going to be right at the back of that. He may be in front of a couple of other people if there's a DNF or two again from people that haven't set times, but we'll see. I just want to point out here as well, Baz. So we actually have a new driver, I think, to Div 2 in the Mercedes Kiwi. Just recently new to ARL and has jumped into Div 2. And he's currently 5th overall with a 116.2. So that's very good to see. We'll have to keep an eye on him tonight and see how he performs.
Yeah, we know the Mercedes garage has had a fair few issues in the past number of races. Now, of course, as Chu's able to get out there, he's definitely put in work. But we know that we've had a couple issues with some sub drivers they've had not really performing up to the task that the Mercedes team needs them to be at. And maybe doesn't pick up, as you mentioned here, James, like Kiwi. I mean, he's already got himself in that top 5 with a pretty decent time with that
Ooh.
116.2. Maybe he'll be able to keep himself in that battle there with you to get those extra team points coming through.
Speaking of new drivers as well, in the McLaren we have Snores, who is relatively new to the ARL as well. I believe he's a Singaporean racer, and he set a purple first sector, runs very wide there on the exit of that corner. I don't think he invalidated, so it'll be interesting to see what time he sets here.
Yeah, very liberal, I want to say, with the outside track, but if the game didn't ping him, it seems to be all right as he goes towards that final sweeping right hander. He'll lead up to the pitch straight here with a 116.636. So we've had a bit of a tiny slide as we just caught sight of him through sector 3, which definitely would have lost him a bit of time, but nonetheless, still in that top 10, up in the 9th place, and of course, still plenty of time to improve on that.
Yeah, there is still more than 10 minutes left in this qualifying session, so we will see these times come down again. Oh, Nordal is DNF'd.
I was going to say, was that a Red Bull icon just sit there in the pits pretty much? I'm trying to catch Shanu. Yeah.
Lost it. Exit of the last corner. I'm not exactly sure how it happened, but I believe he must have lost it. Exit of the last corner, and then just spun into that pit wall.
Who would have thought the only time we're touching grass was a bad thing? It's not the insult this time. But yeah, no, it looked like he definitely caught the curb. Maybe some of the outside there, and that's what spun him and caught him out, unfortunately. At least the 116.4 should keep him in the midfield, hopefully. I mean, we saw a couple of 115s coming out from your division, James, I want to say, because the Academy division, even yourself, right, getting that a faster time than 90-something% of this lobby at the moment. Chu, the only one that's actually beaten your time so far?
Yeah, I think that'll come down a lot more as the session progresses, though. I wouldn't be surprised to see probably the top 3 or 4 drivers on the grid with a 115 point something. So I know definitely there's more than one driver in this lobby capable of doing the 115. It's just a matter of, do they get impeded by traffic? Do they get out on the end of when the tracks rub it up a bit, that sort of thing.
And that's what we're expecting to see, as you see Shinudi there with a 115.7. So we're finally starting to see some of the guys come out with these times. Yeah, we're expecting an average of about that 115-ish mark here for the Div 2 guys. I mean, I've even seen times as fast as 114 come out around this track. That's probably going to be more Division 1 for tomorrow night. That's probably the time Zoyas will be aiming for.
Yeah,
that 114, 115 mark. But should definitely start to see a lot more of our guys, especially more of our top guys, get towards more of that 115-ish mark here for the qualifying. Still 8 minutes 30 to go. So still plenty of time. Looks like a couple guys are thinking about coming out or just coming out on their outlaps now. Probably with some more downforce setting changes as well. Of course, fresh softs. And they're looking to see what they can improve on their time. Although it looks like one of the Mercedes just parked it out there on the track at the moment.
I think he was just letting Fluxy by before they entered turn 4. Wanted to let him
actually, it's telling me that Chu's been completely removed out of the rate in the qualifying here.
I think he's retired in the pits.
So
I think Kiwi is currently that Mercedes out on track. And I
Yep.
think he just let Fluxy through before they got to turn 4 because he didn't want to create an incident and ruin Fluxy's lap. And I think
Yeah.
Chu actually retired in the pits. So
Okay, we'll have to double check that because on my screen, oh, actually, one of the Alpines there, front wings entirely missing.
yeah,
Just keeping an eye. Yeah.
Basink was about halfway through his hot lap, just started sector 2, and it went all bad for him there.
Well, that's going to be rough for him as well. I think a lot of guys losing a fair few front wings here
So we've
at
got
the moment. Oh, yeah, Swagbad has also lost his front wing. That's the one I
no.
was talking about there. We were having a look at Kiwi before. So, yeah, looks like quite a few guys have been caught out with the front wings here. Some of these corners going to be very careful of. It seems they can go faster through them, but it'll get you caught out. But, yeah, maybe we might be able to get an update from someone soon. Looks like Fluxy sent it as well around the first corner. Yeah, because it's on, at least on my side, I had Chu actually DNF'd out on that sector 3 straight, actually leading up for some of the curves. It looks like Kinkara has also been caught out.
Oh no, where is that? Can we get on board with that? If we jump on with Kiwi,
but hopefully
he might be
will still
despawned
be
by the
around,
time
right?
Kiwi gets there.
We'll definitely keep an eye on it though, see if we can catch out where Kinkara has been caught. But that's almost your top 3 being taken out entirely. That's a
Interesting
really
to see him
weird
there. Yeah, that's a very strange spot to see a DNF there.
I wonder what's happening. I mean, that's something I'd expect out of the career mode, right? Where you got the technical failures on, you expect an engine to blow up or something like that. But because that's not something you get here in the multiplayer. So yeah, very odd spot. But that's going to be almost your top 3 drivers, championship contenders, already out of the qualifying. Still with 6 minutes left to go. So
Well,
I mean, if I was Fluxy right now,
Fluxy's still in it. Fluxy, he ruined his hot lap on the mediums, but he is still in it. So it'll be interesting to see after that spin on the mediums. No, he comes into the pits. He's not staying out for another spin on the mediums. He knows with Chu and Cairo, even though they've set respectable times now, I think he'll come back out on the softs in a minute or two and try and pip their times now that they've DNF'd from the quali session, and they won't be able to be out here at the very end of this session. So I think Flux is going to try and pip him from the pole position, provisional pole position.
So hopefully he'll be able to go for that. But there's even still some of our other top drivers out there who could definitely sneak away with it. I mean, Wobbsy's definitely one of those. Watching him at the moment, looks like he's on that flying lap on those soft tires at the moment, looking for the potential 1:15 time mark. But he's definitely one of those guys. It's a pinpoint that could come out of nowhere and steal that one away. Not to mention SGN, Weru Boy as well, Kevin on Earth. A lot of these guys out here could definitely come out of nowhere and sneak away with one of those top times.
Got Recon on a hot lap at the moment in the Alpine. They're not fresh softs, they're already 2 laps old. So he's probably done 1 hot lap on it. He's actually got red fuel and no ERS as well, so this must either be an in lap or
Yeah,
it has to
I
be
think
an
it's
in
safe to say an in lap, right? So keep looking through the field here at the moment. Kevin on Earth, he's heading to the pits as well on red fuel. Looks like Wobbsy might be looking to complete his lap, but looks like he will go into the pits also. So I think a lot of our top guys are currently out. Looks like they might be heading into the pits here. Gonna check on the likes of Swagbad though. Looks like he's gearing up for a flying lap.
Yeah, let's hop on board with Swag here and have a look at this lap. See if he can improve. He's currently a 1:16.0, which is a very respectable time. Although I think he can bring that down.
Yeah, only 3 drivers in the 1:15 mark at the moment, and fairly the way through it as well. 1:15.7s and a 1:15.6 coming out from Chu before his DNF. But of course, heading out here now through sector 1, a long straight here, leading up to some of these really tough curves here through sector 2. Very easy to catch the corners and spin your car out, and that's definitely something we have to watch out for when you get wheel-to-wheel action, of course, during the race. It's going to be so tough to navigate some of these cars through here. Make sure that they don't get caught out. We've got big yellow through sector 2 looks like already. And looking out now for sector 3. A lot of this, a lot easier. You got through the hardest part of the track. Should be a lot easier through here. And I say that, and I've just straight up cast the curse again. We're back in action, boys. The curse is still strong. And yeah, I'm very sorry about that, Swag. I just caught you out there with what I was saying. Should have been an easy right-hander, but it's like he just sent it a little bit too much to the right, getting a little bit oversteer there.
Yeah, I think maybe he hit too much of that inner curb throughout the apex as well, because that has a habit of sending you in that corner as well. If you just take the tiniest bit too much, it will send you right around.
Yeah, so gonna swap to Kiwi now then. Currently on a fast lap here as well. He's in 7th at the moment, the 116.2. Looking to see if he can improve. Maybe catch up with his teammate Chu, of course. Brand new driver. We're just talking about him just a couple of minutes ago. Joining us here for Div 2 for the Aussie Racing League. And there you go. He got that clean 3 there. Looks like he got a purple sector
Purple, yeah, purple
as well
sector
going
too.
through that one. Gonna go through the slow left-hander here and try and hug some more of the inside. He's a bit of the pit entry. And of course that sweeping right hand. Be very careful about that pit wall entry.
That was bringing back
But,
memories of Yentes from last night.
but he's able to sneak his way in there with a 115.9. That'll get him up into that 4th place spot right next to Shinudi. Of course, just behind his teammate in Chu.
Yeah, it's a very respectable lap by him. Anything 115 and under is great. It would be nice to see if we could get a 115.5 maybe from Fluxy when he does finally do this hot lap on the softs. Cheese actually on right now. He's on that hot lap on the softs right now. He's coming around. He may have just purpled sector 2. I'm not sure if I caught that correctly or not. He's crossing the line now. No, that's a 116.5. So I think there's currently a bug in the game that sometimes displays purple sectors for spectators, even when they're not purple spectators. I heard a couple of the guys talking about it the other night, and I have noticed it happening, so I'm not too sure what's going on with that.
Well, either way, maybe one of the AlphaTaris might not have got that 115, but the other one sure did. Bassin coming out here with 115.8, knocking Kiwi out of that 2nd row position to be lined up alongside Shinudi. A very strong time here from a very, very big fan favorite, of course. Like we've got a few times here, of course, in the Rocket League community and in the greater esports community here in Oceania. Very strong time coming out from Bassin now.
Yeah, we've got Shinuti about to cross the line on a hot lap as well. See if he can improve.
Yeah,
Oh, sorry, about to
one.
start his hot lap. About to start his hot lap. We'll see if he can improve.
Well, it's already in 3rd place, but you can never be too greedy, right? You gotta go for that pole spot.
We have a DNF. Snores. Down the straight between turn 1 and 2, off to the left-hand side there. Shouldn't affect Shinuti's lap at all, but unfortunately that does put the McLaren out of the session.
He's another one of our new drivers here as well. Looked like he was trying to get a very strong time earlier. Just missed shy, unfortunately, and looks like he's been caught out in the final few seconds here in qualifying. That's going to be qualifying over as well now. So this will be the final lap for everyone out. Currently going for a hot lap or even an out lap if they just be shy of it.
We have a fair few drivers still out on track on a hot lap right now, so this grid is not settled just yet, guys. Stay with us here. Oh, Shinuti runs very wide. Doesn't invalidate, though.
Seems to be a good strat a lot of these guys are going for here at the moment. Seems to be part of the track you are able to be a bit more liberal with here. Going around the final left and right hand. Very long sectors, very long turns through here at the moment, sweeping rights and lefts. They're going to get the final time for Shinudi, 115.9.
Oh, 9. He didn't improve.
Yeah.
It was a 15,
So
but he didn't improve.
I mean, still, he's going to be locked in that 3rd place spot. He'll be very happy. On board with Wobbsy, he's looking to improve. Swagbad's been caught out there as well. He'll be done for qualifying. See if Wobbsy can improve at his 115.9. He managed to get a little bit earlier. He's unable to, off by, I believe that's a 4,000th of a second there. Or 400ths at least. So that's going to be very, very, I was going to say rough for him, but he's still going to be in that top 5 spot. On position off where he's currently out in the Drivers' Championships, but we're going to have to keep an eye on Wobbsy. We've seen the past few races, he's been caught out in some big turn 1, turn 2, or even turn 3 incidents. He's kind of been stuck behind the rest of the pack for, say, 20, 25 laps or so. Managed to sneak his way back up into the top 5 by the end of it. We'll have to see if he's able to break that curse here tonight and maybe see if he can get a potential 1st place spot with the pace he's able to get going.
Alright guys, so here is your starting grid. We have Chu, Kinkaro making up the 1st row, followed by Shinuti Basink on the 2nd row, Wobbsy, Kiwi, Swagbad, Kevin on Earth, Werrowboy, SGN making out the top 10, and then in the back half of the grid we have Nordal, Fluxy, Panache, Foxy, Snores, Recon, Locks, Drummer, Champagne, and Mo. So
Yeah,
interesting
so
there for Fluxy to be all the way down in 12th, and that's on the softs as well. So
yeah, that's what I was going to bring up. One of our top drivers, he's been in the driver championship lead beforehand. Currently in third place, of course, after a big DNF back in Singapore last week. And yeah, that's the perfect point there, James. So it's really odd to see him that far back in the pack here. Maybe this just isn't his track, right? We did mention, right, it's a tough track. It's not really one that you would drive too often. Of course, it's not really like one of the, I'll say, the most popular tracks out of the track selection here on Formula Ones, and even in other racing games or racing simulators, the Hungaroring's not really a track you see all too often.
no, I know a lot of people are not a big fan of this track. Personally, I don't mind it. It's not a bad track. However, it's definitely not in my top five.
Yeah, I'd say it's definitely an underrated track for sure, though. And you're about to see it here when we go underway, right, for our big race. It's going to be exciting here. Race 9 for the ARL Division 2 Championships, as we mentioned. We're just past, really, that second, that halfway mark in this season. And we're going straight away as lights go out here for the big race here at Hungaroring Race 9 for Division 2. It seems to be a very strong start for the start of the field here at the moment. Chu leading the pack here at the moment. Kakaro side by side at the moment as they're able to keep their positions locked in there. Chu able to secure that one. Kakaro slides out though through that first corner, straight into the wall, loses his front wing. The pressure being caught out.
Couple of spins there.
Keep an eye here as well. We're leading into Sector 2 at the moment. Of course, Basic Shooty, Wobsy all able to move up. Werribee as well. Haas 4th and 5th here currently through Sector 2 at the moment. This is going to be a tough spot to see how our drivers will be able to tackle it. It's not really a place you can go side by side. You have to be super careful and be very patient through here as well. But I say that, and Drummer and Riab having a huge battle here at the moment for 16th place all the way back. Of course, Riab was had to DQ. I believe he's a sub driver coming in from Div 1, I believe, as well. So they're going to be chasing down the Ferrari in Drummer. As we're looking to clear our very first lap done and dusted. There was Bingson, of course, with Cairo, but everyone else seems to be pretty okay here at the moment, as Chu will lead us here through our first lap.
Yeah, he does manage to maintain that lead. Bassink up 2 places into second straight away off the start there. Good start for him. However, Shinudi is right behind him and is looking to get a position here if possible.
Also, I'm going to have Locks entering the pits as well. I want to see if there's any wing damage. Yes, there is as well. So looks like Locks got caught out as well in that incident. I want to say, of course, the other Alpha driver did end up showing up here to the race if it was a little bit late. So they're going to end up on they're going to go for the medium compound tire here. It was 35 laps at the moment, but this track's not really too heavy on the tires, so should be able to nurse those for quite a huge portion of the race.
Yeah, speaking.
And we get a slow Ferrari between the two Barons there, is it? That seems to be okay. There seems to be a bit of a gap forming.
Yeah, there is a bit of a gap forming there. Chu's almost a second ahead of Bassink, running away with the lead here. However, he's not completely off scot-free. Bassink is kind of reeling him in back there and then lets him out again. So that's going up and down. And then there's a big gap behind the second Haas after the first Haas between Wubsy and Werribee there.
And Fluxy can't catch a break here as well. Third place drivers championship position at the moment. Had a bit of a slide out trying to get through the last few portions there of Sector 3. So he's going to be falling well behind. No damage from what it looks like for now, but he's going to have a bit of a chase going forward. We know Fluxy, of course, had that big DNF in Singapore last week, so might still be, I want to say reeling a little bit, maybe after that one, of course, back onto this tough track as well. Just trying to get himself back into the groove here for what will be a fairly lengthy race.
We've got a big battle further down between SGN Kiwi and Nordal. Through turns 2, 3, 4 there, they were really going at it. It's side by side. And Kiwi had to run wide and very nearly came close to contact with SGN when he came back onto the track.
Look at that four-car train here happening, right? SGN, Kiwi, Nordal, and even Panache is pretty up and close and personal, with Snores also catching up to the pack here at the moment. So going to be a very tough battle. We know that that sort of like 4th place to 9th, 10th place battle is one thing is very, very tough and also very, very exciting here in Division 2. A lot of these guys, what might seem like, oh, he's only a 9th place driver, he's only 8th place driver. In reality, they might only be there because of how tough and how close these battles are and where they're able to finish in the end. I mean, you're seeing it here at the moment, the battle between SGN and Kiwi. Kiwi looking to stake his name, put his name in the hat with a lot of these drivers here at the moment, going through the
bit of
entire
contact.
side panel. Will slide out Kiwi there as well, and thank God for ghosting. Otherwise,
Yeah,
we'd
that
have
would have
quite
been
a big
really
roadblock,
bad.
catching out quite a few drivers on the inside.
If it wasn't for ghosting, I'd say there would have been at least 2 DNFs there, probably more, with where he stopped us right on the racing line with the majority of the field right behind him.
A huge, huge spin there in the battle for 7th. That's exactly what I was just talking about. Just how aggressive, how close, how entertaining, how fun some of these battles are.
And that battle's still going. Even though Kiwi's spun, Nordal's now looking at closing up on SGN with DRS now available, and Swag just in front of them is getting really close to Werribee, and it looks like he's intending to make a move on him. Oh, he almost touches him around the second to last corner.
Of course, going through that final right-hander, and it looks like Swagbad will be able to lock that
He
one
keeps
down.
the position, barely keeps the position.
Somewhere boy actually touched some of the grass again, which definitely would have lost him some of that speed and give Swagbad that slight advantage to get that lead. However, boy can't really lose focus here at the moment. He still has SGN right up his behind here. Locks is actually DNF out of the race here. That's going to cause a safety car, and SGN is also going to be spun
as
out
well.
there.
Exact same spot.
Same position as Kiwi.
Exact same spot, exact same way. I didn't catch what happened with Locks there. Sorry guys, we're so wrapped up in that battle. We saw Locks DNF. I don't believe he was battling anyone when that happened. Did you happen to see Baz?
I didn't quite catch that one either, unfortunately. Of course, looking at that battle there for 7th place. But yeah, I believe Locks might have just caught out the corner, oversteered. Might have caught him out because I believe it was around this certain area around where Chew is now, where Locks was taken out of the race. I think it might have just been a slight personal error. I'm not too sure. Of course, if we can get a report on that, maybe I can correct myself if that's not the case. But very unfortunate there for Locks as well. Both Alphas stuck behind in last at the moment. And yeah, we should be seeing a fair few cars heading into the pits here to go for that medium tire.
That's what I was about to say, Baz. This is an absolute dream for the soft runners, right? Because the softs, they've done 4 laps, essentially. Maybe 6 if you count your quali laps, or just over. They're pretty much on the limit of where they are starting to lose their pace. They're starting to lose the advantage of being on the softs. So this safety car is like perfectly timed for them to make their swap to either the hards or the mediums. And yeah, we see almost all of them come in and pit for the hards. Sorry, correction, for the mediums.
Pit stop simulator coming out here from the top 5 at the moment. But it looks like Deluxe and Nordal, Panache, Snores, and Foxy, both McLarens, decide not to pit. Of course, they're only 5 laps in on the mediums, 5 laps in the hards for Snores. So they're thinking for now that, you know what, we're already out here. Let's go for the overcut potentially, and maybe hope for another safety car. It's only the first one of the race. We already saw in qualifying a fair few guys be caught out, especially through Sector 2 and Sector 3. And we've already seen a fair few guys caught out in Sector 1 in those battles. I've already seen a couple slides there. Kiwi being caught out, SGN being caught out, and luckily they've been okay. But there's a chance, right, that they could crash out and call it another safety car.
They've been okay in terms of they haven't DNF'd, but I mean, that's pretty much, they dropped, what, 10 places effectively from those spins? So.
And on this track, that's almost essentially just like DNFing, depending on how the race goes. As we mentioned, this is not the track where you can just overtake left and right, be a speed demon coming through. And it's really a very strategic track that you've got to be very patient on. Obviously, the qualifying matters so much here. And yes, of course, there's still plenty of great overtake opportunities here where you can catch some drivers out, but it's not the go-to, right? It's not your Monzas, right? It's not even what we saw even in parts of Singapore. It's not like your Bahrain, right? It's not those types of tracks. So it'll be interesting to see how these guys will be able to tackle it. See if SGN and Kiwi can make some time back. I mean, we know, of course, if Wobbsy would be caught out, we know he'd be able to do it going off of the track record he's built up for himself over quite a few number of weeks now.
So, sorry, keep going. Sorry.
No, you go. That was it anyway. So
Yeah, Wubsy, getting into the mediums, staying in the middle of the pack there with everyone. So this safety car restart, it'll be interesting. How effectively do you think those middle of the pack fresh medium runners like Wubsy and the others in that area will be able to hunt down these guys on the 6-lap old mediums? They are only 6 laps, but that's not nothing, right? Like, they definitely have an advantage.
kind of comes down to what I was just talking about, right? About how they're able to tackle the track, and obviously, yes, you can get your advantage here and there, but it isn't that go-to track where you can keep that up 24/7 essentially. I think honestly, it's all going to come down to it because obviously Chu's going to be leading that pack between him, Bassing, Drummer, Shinuti. I'm surprised to see actually Drummer obviously up in that. He's on the 6-lap old mediums as well. He's been able to sneak his way up. Should be giving that position over to his teammate in Shinuti to hopefully get Shinuti up in the field and then hold off the likes of Wobsy, the likes of Swagbag, the likes of Wearable right coming into that. But it's all going to come down to, I guess, how I want to say the two teams in both the Ferrari garage and even the McLaren garage as well, who are built up, how they're able to, I guess, hold off and defend some of these top drivers. Not to mention as well, if the top drivers are going to be able to psych out, I want to say most likely the two McLarens and Foxy and Snores, and be able to challenge Panache and Norton, because they're not easy guys to overtake. Yes, they're not the top 3 drivers, championship team, potentially even top 5, but Norton and Panache are still very, very strong drivers, right? And it's not going to be easy to try and get this position back on top of them.
No, it's
of course,
not.
now though, the
Here
safety car is coming in. So our first official race restart here at the Hungary for the Division 2 Championships here for the Aussie Racing League. Norda will kick things off in the lead, straight under the inside, looking to mess up some of the slipstream leading into that first corner.
There's some sort of an incident in the back there. The second half of the grid, sort of from Wubsy back, was really slow on that restart. I'm not sure if something happened on the restart. There was a minor collision or something like that, but there's now a big gap forming between 6th and 7th.
Well, Shinuti all the way back in last because of that as well. Just talking about how Shinuti and Drum are going to have to work together, right? In this midfield, almost mid-pack battle. He's out of that battle. He's out of that race at the moment, essentially here at the moment. And as the race restart continues here, Panache goes very wide on the right side there, has to give over 2 positions to the McLarens. Chu and Bassing as well, looking to try and get an advantage. Bassing having to go side by side against
Nash picks
Chu
up a penalty as well. Panicked after running wide.
And you've got to be very careful with that sector too. You can't really be continuously looking for battles really at all. You've got to be very calm to there. But some of these guys, it looks like they're throwing caution to the wind, trying their best to maybe psych out the other drivers and get them to run wide, kind of like what Panache did there, trying to battle Nordal and getting the McLaren garage up a couple more positions. Another yellow flag caught up there in sector 3 at the moment.
Alpine of Swagbad spins
called out now. Another top driver being fallen victim a little bit, sliding out here on the Hungarian currently at the moment, as Snores is looking to go for the one-on-one against Nordal, leading through sector 1.
Breaks late, tries to get it some sort of a switchback done, doesn't work. He's definitely not going to get him coming down to turn 4 here.
8-lap old mediums, it's 8-lap old hards. The mediums should still have quite the advantage, but Snores
not for long,
terrifying here at the moment. You can look how hungry he is for that first place spot. Any chance he can get to try and go around the inside, try and go around the outside, and it's going to happen.
Is he going to get him? He's got him by the look of it.
Snores has to be careful.
Oh, Nordal's big spin takes out Panache.
Gets caught out. He is out of the race here. Nordal loses his entire
absolute carnage.
Also caught out there by the battle with Snores there. Of course, his teammate also being caught out. Only slight wing damage, but will still be enough to go back into the pits, and
Oh,
our
that's
second safety
right on the
car
safety. Yeah,
is out, and
Panache.
Swagman gets a drive-through as well, being caught out by the Delta.
Oh no. He was way behind as well when he got that drive through. That must have been some sort of a glitched delta or something as he went through that corner, because it didn't look like he was going that fast as he went past the DNF'd chassis of Panache. But we can see why it's a safety car, right? Because Panache was right on the racing line, and combined with all the pieces of front wing everywhere from Nordal and that.
I mean, I was expecting Nordal to DNF out of
So
that race.
was I,
The
yeah.
impact into that wall. Again, we're talking about, like, say luck in quotations, right? If those guys survive, I'm gonna say that's just luck, period, right? Yes, he's very far back in the pack. He's back down in the 15th place, but that impact, the way he went in the wall, that car should be gone. That should be DNF. But luckily, I guess the wall and the front wing was able to absorb all of it and keep the tires nice and safely on the car and keep him in the race. Obviously, gonna have to put in some work to hopefully make up a lot of positions, but still gonna be here at the moment. Although I won't be surprised, James, if we maybe see the FIA get involved into that one, because I will say that was a very messy battle through Sector 2. Quite a few drivers caught up in that. Teammates alike, drivers alike who weren't even involved in the battle being taken out of the race. It's a very, very rough one through that Sector 2.
Yeah, absolutely. Interestingly, Nordal, after the pit there to replace that front wing, not sure if he did it intentionally or by accident, but he's gone onto the softs, which when we're here at like 10 out of 35, and the softs keep pace for about 7 laps and will last for somewhere between 10 to 20, depending on how lucky you are with punches. Interesting to see that he made that choice and how that's going to affect him, because obviously they're not going to go till the end of the race, so he must be going softs, mediums now.
Yeah, maybe just trying to get the advantage, get as many positions back as possible early on the softs, and hope that those positions he gains be able to hold with the mediums. Not too sure about that one. Of course, we'll have to see. I mean, you never know. Sometimes I want to say that unorthodox strategies can work, right? And can catch out some of the drivers. I mean, Snores is on 10-lap old hard tires at the moment. He's currently in first.
I
So
think
you never know.
he's currently in first behind the safety car, but those 10-lap hards versus the 4-lap mediums, I think I know which one's going to come out on top on this restart.
Yeah, it's just, I think about even to skill potentially outside those tires, because I mean the way he was taking it to Nordal, right, through those, I want to say at least 2 laps, it was pretty terrifying to watch. As watching from Nordal's viewpoint, just having a big bright orange and blue car, right, just weaving left and right behind you, trying to get that one position up. But yeah, obviously, realistically, it should be Chew, Bassick, Wubsy able to move up onto Snores, but where's it going to be done? How's it going to be done? Of course, are the questions being asked, or will Snores be able to be the widest Formula One car ever made and be able to hold on to that first position for quite a while? I'll have to wait and see, because again, it's the track. If he's able to keep control, get some good pace in on the Hungarian, he might be able to hold on that first place position a little bit longer than what we might be expecting.
We might see safety car in here too, because the pack is pretty grouped up. Yep, there we go. Safety car is in this lap. We are back to racing already. So now we are going to see how wide Snores can make that car.
We're going to be on lap 12 to bring the race up. Of course, Snores will be here for the second race restart here tonight at the Hungarian. Going to build up the cars as much as possible, of course, within limits, to try and get that advantage, try and slow them down going through this right-hander. But here we go, race 2 restart for race 9 here. Hungarian for the Division 2 Aussie Racing League Championships here. Snores flying off the line there. Very perfect start, being able to slow the guys behind him down to keep that lead going through that first section corner. Chew and Bassing here gonna have to work quite a bit to catch up to this new McLaren driver.
Yeah, we've got Chew sort of not as good on the restart there as I thought he would be. Let Snores sort of get away a little bit. However, Bassink is right behind on the gearbox of Chew, just looking to get any advantage he can out of this.
Not to mention the 1-2 I should say fourth, fifth, really, right? With Wubsy and Werrowboy, the Haas drivers all lined up here for fourth and fifth place, looking for that battle. They're sniffing for blood, right? Looking to see where they can get their attack on to these guys as well. But we're going to watch out because Werrowboy does have that 3-second corner cutting penalty. He's going to have to watch out for and nurse throughout the rest of the race, make sure that doesn't increase any further. Maybe help some of these surrounding drivers get pinged for that as well, potentially. Going through the second and last corner here, the Hungarian so far, Snores still seems to be holding on quite well, but Chu is in that half-second time difference here at the moment. Should be getting DRS back in the next lap, and it's just like some great train weaving here by Snores to try and break up the slipstream where he can.
Yeah, I don't think that's working for him though. We're starting to see the difference in those tire compounds and age come into play here, with Chu just getting a much better exit out of that last corner, and that making a big difference in the straight.
Oh, yeah, a bit of a slide there by Snores as well. Talking about traction, that's definitely a sign of it there. Starting to bite a little bit, especially as we're going to get through the beginnings of Sector 2 in just a short moment as well. This is where, of course, those healthy medium tires are going to shine. Let's go on board now with Chu, right behind the Snores here at the moment. Bassing also up the behind of Chu himself as well as they're chasing down Snores here. Of course, Chu having to be careful on the speed at the moment, not to catch on the Snores. Snores catches the curb there, but is still able to keep himself going.
So does Bassink a little bit, but he manages to save it quite easily. Didn't look like it took too much effort from him.
And again, going through these final two sweepers, and as DRS is going to be on board, Drummer gets a 3-second time penalty off camera there as well. DRS should be going live now. Yep, will be enabled. Won't be here for this straight. Will be for the next though, however. And this could be where Chu is able to get his first place position back.
I don't think they get it for this one either. No, they don't, because the detection zone was before DRS is enabled. So unfortunately, they don't get it here either in this lap. But will they need it? So they're getting right up on Snores here. Snores is losing a lot of time to both Chu and Bassink here.
Werrowboy went very wide out there, just saw on the outside camera they're going very,
and
very
he loses
wide.
The position to Cairo because of it. I think Cairo coming up.
And that's on a level up old mediums on Cairo as well. So that's going to be Werrowboy losing a position down. Kinkara getting in amongst the Haas sandwich here. Looking now to chase down the top four. Bassing very close behind there at the moment, as I believe that Champagne
got a yellow,
been caught out as well. It slid out there. Yeah, so I mean, you know, Champagne tends to have it a bit rough in some of the races as well. Hopefully, he'll be able to get himself back into the groove and get things moving again once more. But continuing on this battle now for first place, 1, 2, 3, 4, all lined up. The DRS train in full force here at the moment. Is Chu
making his move
for the inside, is easily able to get that one done there.
Snores not going for the switchback. Thought Snores would go for a switchback there, but he doesn't. But he has, I was going to say he had the inside line there, but unable to outbrake Chu on the softer compound. Much fresher
Decides to give that one up, doesn't, of course, want to overcommit to that one. The problem is, that's only the first position going down. There's two other Hungry drivers behind him that I want to say is probably most likely, sooner or later, we'll be able to grab those positions. It's just how they're going to get it done.
Absolutely. I'd say Bassink. Oh, as he breaks a bit late into the chicane there. He's dropped back. He lost about 3/10 just there due to that area in the chicane. I'd say Bassink is looking to get the move done as we have another spin. Recon.
A huge sector 2 spin out in the chicane there. And, I don't believe we caught that one, but I wouldn't have been surprised if we had some more side-by-side cars there going through Sector 2. You're going to be so careful going through there. Here at the Hungaroring as Bassink now look towards using his DRS, his ERS, potentially for that overtake.
Chu with a 119.0.
Still not enough speed just yet, but he's going to have once more. Look
Ooh,
how close he
that
is
was really
to the
close.
behind the stores. There's Bassett getting very, very close. More than happy to almost touch wings there to get involved into that one at the moment. So still chasing him down here. We're going to see if he can catch him out leading into this corner at the moment. Still a little bit far behind. Snores able to hold on still. But again, it's only a matter of time here. Bassing slowly sneaking up on the McLaren driver. Snores trying his best to hold on. Here we go through the chicane now of sector 2. Look how
Oh,
close that
so
is.
close.
So
Oh,
close,
and
but
he
he gets caught out.
spins.
Bassing gets caught out, spins out through the
Recovers
exit there.
fairly quickly. Only going to lose 2 places, 3 places.
Yeah, I think that's going to build
4,
up there.
yeah, it's getting real bad now.
Was that about 4 or 5 spots drop there?
Yeah.
Into
Gone
7th
from 3rd to
place at the
7th.
moment. And he's still sliding as well. The tyres are cooked. Still trying to hold on because there's so many cars behind him. Has to try and keep some of that pace up, but is still dropping positions. Norwood should be getting one up on him here. Foxy almost right up the behind of Bassett there, same as Boy.
Snores isn't off scot-free though, just because he's dropped back. Now Wubsy's taking him, and Wubsy's easily going to get him with the DRS down the main straight there.
And of course, he's going to have it once more as well. Leading into turn 2, Snores looked for the outside, but again, just the speed isn't there. He's going to have to back away and now hold on to 3rd. It's Kinkaro be looking to join the fight to get another top 3 as well.
I think was another position to Werribee. Oh, brakes very late. Takes it back through turn 2. Manages to keep it back off of Werribee.
So at the moment, I hope obviously Bassnick is able to just chill out in the car a little bit, as much as he can, right? When he's got cars chasing him down and try and get the temps down on those tires. And you see, almost for a bit of a slide there. There's a bit of a drift there through the chicane. So he's going to have a little bit of work to do to bring himself back up for the AlphaTauri team. Of course, Fluxy, the 3rd place driver in the Drivers' Championship, at the moment is already back down in 16th spot, 11 seconds down on Foxy at the moment. So it's really all up to Bassink here. Well, I should say it really was up to Bassink here to try and get some of those points. But unfortunately, yeah, some of those positions being bled out. Yeah, there's still a fair few laps to go, but he's dropped so many positions down. Should be looking at a pit stop for these guys fairly soon.
Yes.
I'm going to hope for a potential safety car, maybe to bring himself back up a little bit.
I think on the mediums around here, you're looking at about 15, 14 laps where they have pace. And then after that, that's when it really starts to drop off. And I think you hit the cliff at about 17, and they just become pretty slow after that. We've got Swagbad, DNFs out of turn 1, exit of turn 1. Jump on board with Fluxy here, see if we can get a look.
I did say about the safety car.
He's on the track, yeah, blocking almost the entire track too.
Yeah, and Fluxy going very slow through there. Looking to sure doesn't get caught out in that one. Schnooty will speed right past it though. And yeah, Swagpad, who we saw was having a fantastic race at the beginning of the race. Very good qualifying for him as well. Unfortunately, the 3rd victim here in Hungary for the Division 2 Championships. He'll be out. The safety car will be out once more. And I mean, that's going to suck for some of the guys in the league because they had quite a huge lead coming out.
Yeah.
Going to have to give that one away.
Especially
but in turn,
Chu and
free
Wubsy.
pit stop. So it should be the 2nd set of medium tires, but here's an issue. Yeah, you've already gone to the pits. You've already used up those medium tires. What are you going to have left on the menu? The hard compound. So we might even see some guys deliberately not go to the pits because of that reason, which would be a questionable strategy, but also at the same time, do you commit to those hard tires for the rest of the race?
Yeah, a lot of the guys here going on to fresh mediums. Everyone else sort of choosing to stay out. We've still got Snores, interestingly, doesn't elect to pit. 18 laps on the hards. Yes, I know that they can do more than that. But if you're not electing to pit here, sure, he's back in the lead behind the safety car, but the exact same thing is going to happen again as what just played out. He is going to lose those positions very rapidly as soon as this safety car comes back into the pits.
And not to mention, of course, as well, our other newer driver, Kiwi. Yeah, it's not as many laps, about 6 laps difference, but he's also staying on the hard tires, those 12-lap-old hard tires, and looking to get himself kept in second place spot here. So those two, alongside Foxy, opting us out on the hard tires, maybe potentially hoping for a later safety car, and maybe looking for a soft strat to end the race on.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see. I feel like this number of safety cars, so 3 safeties in 18 laps, is going to absolutely play havoc with anyone's attempt at a strategy for this race. The race engineers are going to be working overtime to try and come up with a strategy that they can use to get these guys the most positions they can at the end of this race. We still can't even rely on penalties or anything like that, as we're still relatively penalty free. We've got Drummer, Werribee, and Champagne with 3 seconds each, and that's it. There were a couple of additional penalties. Like someone picked up a drive through that has since been served, and I think someone picked up a 5 second for speeding in the pit lane or something like that that has since been served as well.
Yeah, and the thing is as well, talking about, right, the amount of safety cars running strategies, it's been one safety car for one driver being taken out of the race. So you can't even be like, oh, it's fine. There's like 8 guys out of the race, so I'll still like. There's a pretty good chance I can get a top 10 at least, right, and get some better points. You can't even rely on that even either, right? The luck of the draw, the RNG of that. So it's going to be interesting to see. Well, first things first, how long our top 3 drivers decide to stay on these old tires, 19, 13, 10, respectively. If you want to take away the safety car, what is it, about 17, 11, 8, maybe something like that coming out for these guys here on these tires at the moment. But even still pretty old, especially Snor's tires. Very old coming out.
These guys that just went onto the fresh mediums, they'll go from here to the end of the race, right? Like Chu, Wubsy, Cairo, and then those other guys sort of just past the mid-pack.
Provided there's not another safety car.
Yeah, provided there's not yet another safety. We've already had 3.
And it's going to go in. So, what? It should be 14 laps very easily on these medium tires. Should quite easily be able to finish. But here we go again. It's not deja vu, ladies and gentlemen. It's the 3rd restart. It's the 3rd safety car. It's the 3rd race restart. And the 2nd time Snores will be leading the pack here. He had such a great race restart off the line coming out in the last restart and able to hold on to first place for quite some time. Will he be able to do the same thing all over again with Kiwi, Mo, Chu, and Drummer all behind, all chasing him down? The race has restarted. Of course, Hungary here for the Division 2 Championship for the Aussie Racing League at the moment. And once again, Snores has run away with it. Mo Riab was able to get a position up on Kiwi on that race restart. He'll get himself up into 2nd place spot here. He'll be chasing down the first driver to challenge Snores for that 1st place spot on the medium tires. 9 laps difference between these 2 guys here, but still quite a bit of distance. Mo Riab's going to have to make back here to go for, first off, initially the challenge, and potentially, of course, that locked-in 1st place spot for the time being.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if Chu is actually the one challenging Snores, because there's no DRS for the next 3 laps. But, so is Mo going to be able to catch Snores before Chu catches Mo? Is the question here.
Yeah, and of course with Kiwi, very happily giving the position over to his teammate, who's 2nd place in the Drivers' Championship on the, we'll say 0-lap medium, 0.5 lap, because that 1 lap is behind the safety car. That's, yeah, Chu's already going to be chasing them down hard. DRS will be here at the beginning of the next lap now. And he's already making up so much time against Mo.
The ability for him to just plant it on the exit of the corners going down those longer straights means that he just gains so much time. It's just on the power so much quicker. He has the grip to put that power down. And these other guys in front of him, Snores and Mo, just don't have that same ability with the much older tyres.
An update,
Oof.
of course, in the back of the pack, Roro Boy Shinudi, both in the pits for wing damage, coming out as well. So they would have been caught up in the battle there. Their race, again, without a safety car, will most likely be over and be in those positions without any further incidents. But I say that and SGN is out of the race entirely.
Oh,
One of the
no.
drivers you least expect to be caught out has been caught out just into that entry into sector 2. One of I'll say our good top main drivers out of the race here on lap 22. It's not going to cause a safety car, which is fairly surprising. Them has been pretty far off into the track, and of course we've just come off a safety car as well. Normally not an excuse, but seems to be fairly way off, so won't cause that one. But very unfortunate for the Aston Martin garage here. Kinkaro being fairly far behind
So
here
yeah, I
in
was
the
gonna
race.
say, while SGN DNF'd there, Cairo was caught up in a massive battle with Drummer and Wubsy. Those guys were really going at it. Kinkaro was behind. Kinkaro tried to take advantage of a little bit of a slip up there, and ended up spinning in the chicane as SGN DNF'd. So that's a massive impact for Aston Martin, particularly in the combined constructors across all divisions. They're currently leading, and they've now lost a significant amount of points from this race unless Kinkaro can really bring it back.
Fair enough, they're also leading here in Division 2, so the fact that that's going to be bled out is going to be huge as well. Second place is Haas, third place is AlphaTauri, so they won't lose a position after this race at least, but they will feel it. Foxy well off in that chicane
Ooh,
there as well. Those 12-lap-old hards biting back hard for the Volps driver, recently acquired in the past few weeks for their Rocket League team lineup. So, of course, I mentioned a few weeks ago, still big congrats to Foxy for being picked up by the boys at Volps, but will be caught out by the hard compound tire here at the moment. Kinkaro alongside Flukesy, Nordal, Recon. This is normally a battle you see up in the top 4, not in not towards that 10th place spot, I should say. But Kinkaro will get that easy position up onto Flukesy. Which it will be the battle between the first and third place drivers in the championship. Drivers at the moment will be for 10th as Kinkaro will lock that one down nice and easily.
we've got a big battle just in front of them as well, with the Ferrari, the Red Bull, and the AlphaTauri. Oh, Kevin spins. As I say it, the Red Bull spins out of turn 1. Where is he? He's not coming around the corner on this camera angle. He's parked in the middle of the track. Lucky ghosting is on. He loses so many positions because of that. That is really unfortunate for him.
Also, that crunch going back under the track sounded absolutely horrendous. That was not a very nice sound to hear. So, luckily, that damage I don't believe is on Sim for Division 2, so
No, I think
he
it's
won't be
Steam.
receiving any of that major floor damage he might have got for that crunch. Luckily, yeah, looks like he will be able to get himself back onto the track here. Chu is going to improve on his best lap again with another purple sector.
I think
Right up
Chu's looking to
behind
take
Snow.
him here. Chu is looking to get the move done down this straight. He's going to try and make it happen, and he's going to. I don't think there's anything Snores can do.
Yeah, a huge battle coming up here. Of course, Kiwi quite a few seconds behind, but holding up Wubsy. As Chu will lock that one down, going through the inside there, nice and easily there against Snores. Snores will look towards getting some speed back, but just doesn't have it. The 24-lap-old hard tires. Still actually doing quite a bit of work here, but not enough for the 5 laps against Chu, especially when Chu was so quick around this track here at the moment as well. So he will lock in first. Snores will chase him down as Wubsy was able to get Chu's teammate in Kiwi finally, after quite an extended battle, quite a long battle there, that Wubsy's finally able to get through and get himself into the top 3. He'll now chase down Snores for that second place position for Haas here. Wubsy having a fantastic race all night here, not being caught out in any incidents. Touch wood. Not Caster cursing in this
Caster's
time.
curse is incoming immediately.
Yeah, I'm touching anything wooden. I'm holding on for dear life right now. And yeah, he will be able to. Again, he's had such a great race here at the moment. Going to be definitely happy. He's not been caught up in the usual shenanigans. He's been caught up in the past few races. And as I mentioned, right, if he's able to keep his head down and keep himself in it, keep that pace in, he'll easily make top 3. Could potentially even challenge first place. And by the looks of things, that's what's exactly happening here. Third place currently, 2.5 down on Snores, but should be able to make that time back very easily.
Yeah, definitely. Small's still on the 25 lap old hards, Wobbsy on the 6 lap mediums. Uh, Wobbsy is probably a little bit concerned with Kiwi behind him though. Kiwi keeping up with him surprisingly well, given the lap disparity on their tyres.
Kinkara gets a 5
Oh
seconds
no.
speeding in the pits. He actually did just have a incident. I'm gonna have to have a wing change. Bassing as well. Same issue. 5
No,
seconds
no.
in the pit lane. Coming in now as well. He was also, I believe, getting a I was gonna say an entire wing change because there is no wing left on the front of that car. That's already long gone. That's gone overseas to the next race location. I think it's done and dusted. That's out in Japan or something at the moment. But yeah, Bassing Kinkaro being caught out. Bassing will be the first driver alongside Mo though to go on the soft tires. So that's something to keep an eye
Yeah,
out. 9
9
laps
laps to
left
go.
of the race.
You
They
can
should
make
be able
that
to
work.
last that long.
They'll definitely last that long. They'll have good pace for almost all of that. It'll just be interesting to see if he can make any significant moves up the field because he is pretty far back there. Like, let's be honest, he's in 15. At this point, he is almost a minute behind the leader. So it'll be interesting to see how far up the field he can get with them.
And we're getting dangerously close to having overlaps, traffic, back markers being a serious concern for our front runners. It's not something you see too often in Division 2. I actually don't really believe it's happened much at all in Division 2, except for maybe like 20th and 19th at the end of the race. But there's no real instances that come to mind here, but it could happen for the first time, at least majorly here in Hungaroring, if some of our drivers who are more towards that back end of the field do keep getting caught out by some of these corners, by even some of these battles to just get that +1 up even. It might not seem like much, but every position matters at the end of the day. And
Yeah,
that might be something these guys
absolutely.
will have to worry about soon.
Well, these guys are racers, right? Like, they are racing for every position. They want every point in the championships, both constructors and drivers. Like, they're not just going to let anyone pass them for any reason. They are going to try and pass everyone that they can.
And we're seeing that happening now, right? I just want to point out, speaking of battles happening behind, Basic and Werrowboy having a huge battle at the moment through Sector
Oh
1.
no!
Basic touches it
Werrowboy
behind of Werrowboy.
spins, goes into the
He's
wall.
oh, he's not. He's still in it. He's still in it. He does have some of the Rolex. He's taking some of the Rolex sign with him for a bit of a ride there. Does somehow survive wing damage as well,
Does
but that's a huge incident in the back.
does standard give rear wing damage or no?
Ah,
I'm unsure.
refer to manual. Refer to Twitch chat. I don't
Yeah,
know myself that one. I've
yeah, I
always
know.
raced with sim damage, so
I know
I'm not too
reduced you
sure.
can't take rear wing damage. I'm unsure about standard. Hopefully it's not, because otherwise I think Werrowboy would have significant rear wing damage. Oh, and Drummer spins. Turn 4, sorry 3, into the wall, DNF'd. He's off to the side of the
Singapore
racing line.
Singapore strikes back, unfortunately, for Drummer. 2 qualifying sessions, 2 races in a row. Unfortunately, our fellow commentator, at least for the Academy League, can't catch a break and will be caught out in that major incident, will be taken out of the race. Surprisingly, no safety car
So
will be called in. So
I
I believe we
think
might
we're
be
at
at the safety
max.
car limit.
Yeah, we've had 3,
Uh,
and I think that might be max for reduced.
Yeah, safety car limit there. So very unfortunate for some of the guys who are hoping that we would get one.
Yeah,
If it was,
Snores, especially
yeah.
Kiwi, especially.
But in real life, considering where that accident was, I
Oh,
would be spamming the safety car button
absolutely.
right now. But it is what it is. The race will continue, and I'd like to point out, speaking of the Revenge of Singapore, it's getting a bit dark out there, James. All of
Ooh,
a sudden,
you're
like
right. Actually, it
very,
is.
very quickly.
It's getting very cloudy, very
I don't
overcast.
think it'll become an issue because we only have 6 laps left, but
I mean,
it's still a bit of a worry.
it won't take much to require these guys to pit onto intermediates, especially these dudes on the hard tires. Like, the softs can maybe stay out there if it sprinkles a little bit, but these guys on the hard tires, if it starts to rain at all, they're going to be in trouble. Like, big, big trouble.
Yeah, big trouble. We saw it in Mexico. We've seen it in Singapore, and again, we might not see it here, but if we do run at the end, it could ruin the race for a lot of drivers, especially the ones that might take an extra bit of time to finish the race on.
Yeah.
5 laps left here at the Hungarian for the Division 2 ARL Championships here at the moment, with Chu comfortably leading the pack at the moment in first place. Do want to point out that lineup for second place is starting to increase bit by bit.
Yeah, so Snores with that 3-second penalty, with the intervals being as close as they are, that actually puts him down into 5th. That puts him not only out of second, but completely off the podium, and the position behind that as well. So if he can't increase that gap, which it looks like he will struggle to with those tyres, compared to Wubsy behind him especially, he's going to lose his podium with that 3-second penalty.
And it's something that Wubsy and Kiwi are probably definitely well aware of, right? And they can be comfortable. They don't have to push that hard. It looks like Wubsy will at least slightly push still, of course. I still want to keep that speed up, going through some of that ERS to keep him in that distance. But even still,
I think the main concern for Wubsy is he wants to keep him within DRS range, right? Because if Wubsy loses DRS, Kiwi behind him,
he has now.
Yeah, he has. Kiwi behind him, even on the hard old tires, could potentially get him. But Kiwi must have just been outside the 1 second on the detection line, because it didn't look like his DRS was open for me.
No, I believe it was definitely open.
Okay,
I'm gonna have a look at him now. Yep, definitely open. So,
yeah, okay.
I mean, that's the worst nightmare, right, James, for Wubsy is Kiwi's got it, right? He's got that DRS, and he doesn't. And it's kept Kiwi still nice and close, nice and comfortable behind him. And, of course, as we've seen time and time again here, it only takes one slight stuff up, one slight mistake, and you're going spinning. You're officially part of the Beyblade anime. You're right there, done and dusted. So it's going to be something that you guys have to be very careful of, especially with only 4 laps left to go. I believe I just saw specks of rain. I am about 99% sure I'm seeing specks of rain right now. I definitely am. I'm not stripping out.
No, you are not. There is definitely a slight drizzle out here.
There is a high chance that the last lap might need intermediates.
It would explain why Kiwi just dropped so far back from Wubsy. He just lost about 3/10 to him out of nowhere. Could have been because it was through that middle sector and he's on the hards, but also the rain is going to affect him, or these hard runners rather, significantly more than it's going to affect guys in the softs and the fresher mediums.
Not to mention Werribboy's in the pits. He's on intermediates. Werribboy is the first driver onto the intermediate tires.
Very
he does
early.
have a wing change coming out as well, but looks like we'll be going on the intermediates as well. He has been lapped. He's the first driver to be lapped in this race as well, so just something to keep an eye on. But yeah, he's going to go onto the inters. I want to keep an eye on him for just a short second, just to see how he handles the track, because we do know, right, it is too early. Cook tires straight away.
Yeah, it's something we've seen here. Something we've seen here quite a lot. Well, not here, sorry, but in Division 2 quite a lot already this season.
In general, right? You see it in Division 2. You see it in all the divisions in ARL. You see it in other championship leagues. You see it in online play, right? Where a lot of guys get caught out by putting those inters or even fully wets. Just a lap too early, 2 laps too early, something like that. But he seems to be handling himself fairly okay through here. The problem is, as he gets pushed over to Mo, is there's only a few laps left. He's still that far behind. And what about the rest of the field? Are they going to be able to hold on?
Kiwi is moving right up on Wubsy here. He's got the DRS. He's got the ERS advantage as well. He's got more energy than Wubsy. He doesn't have the tire advantage. Oh, and he almost loses it with the rear.
He almost had the cross advantage there as well for a split second. That was getting a very bit too close there. We'll back off for now. But, of course, there's only 2 laps left. Any pushes left out of these guys, it's happening now. It doesn't matter how dangerous it's going to be, potentially, even some of these guys. If they want to go for that position, they want to push that hard, they'll just do it. And they'll commit 100%. So whatever extra spots they can get, if possible, even if it's only a bit of time to get a position up because of the penalties. There's a fair few of those out there now. that these guys are gonna have to worry about. As Boy, by the way, back in the pits, swapping onto his second set of intermediate tires. Not too sure if there was a
Okay,
wing involved in
interesting.
that one as well,
But
but
it looks like the interval for him was plummeted, so it looks like he did have some sort of major incident there.
yeah. So Boy, unfortunately, again, we saw him up the top with Wobsy in that mid-race period, right? The Haas, it was fourth and fifth for quite some time. Now he's down at the back, unfortunately. Had a rough finish to his race, and unfortunately, it looks like he won't even be able to finish with flying colours, which will be very unfortunate. 2 laps left to go here at the Hungarian at the moment.
Snores
Snores
pits.
is in the pits.
What compound
What
is he
tires
getting?
is he
He's going
waxing
onto the softs.
on? Soft tires, very strange pit choice here. Not only because of the soft tires, right, when we can clearly see all this rain coming out here at the moment, but you're already that committed to those hard tires as well. Did he? Oh, he hadn't pitted.
No, he was still on the hards. I believe they were 30 something laps old.
So because of that, I don't. I mean, I'll just say it straight out, James. I don't agree with that strategy at all. Yeah, sure, you got to go down to first place for a huge portion of the race, but by the end of it, you've dropped 5, you're down in 6th.
When you
Yeah, you might be able to hold that.
when you
But
take into account his 3-second penalty, he was looking at fourth or fifth anyway. So
yeah,
I think maybe this is a better strategy to try and save time, especially if, you know, something happens to Kiwi on the 27 lap hards. I don't think he can improve by much, but when you take into account that 3-second penalty, I don't think he's actually losing too many positions by doing it, so it's relatively risk-free.
well, it could even be a strategy that was made on the fly because of that penalty, even right, and because you're doing so
Absolutely.
well on the hard
Kiwi's trying to
tires.
go around the
But
outside of Wubsy on turn 1.
is he getting it? Is that Wubsy will
Oh,
just. I was gonna say just keep ahead, but that's not true because Kiwi will be the one to stay ahead here
he's got
and
the
have the
inside
inside
line.
advantage. He's gonna be able to hold on to it though. He will be able to close the door on Wubsy, but there's still the long straight here through sector 1, leading into that left-hander. Will be able to lock it in, and Kiwi, out of nowhere, able to get the position done onto Wubsy on the final lap.
Yeah, can he keep it though? With the rain still coming down here, and the track getting a little bit wetter, can he keep it? It's 28. Oh, Flukesy
Oh,
DNF.
Flukes is out. Flukes is out. Snores just gets a position up on him. Not too sure what happened. They're going to quickly check on Mo's
He
camera
lost it in
position.
turn 4.
Flukesy straight into the wall there. 2 races in a way for Flukesy. Unfortunately, DNF wasn't on the final lap last time, but will be caught out. Who's currently your
Robsy's
3rd place driver. That's going to cost him
Robsy's
even
desperate
more
here.
points.
Oh, contact. Contact between Wubsy and Kiwi. Penultimate
Around that
corner.
outside.
He
Will
loses
catch
it.
it. And
No!
Wubsy spins out straight into the wall.
Austin
Norton
powers
was
it.
not too far behind here as well. Wubsy's going to lose 3rd.
There
He's
goes
going to lose
Nordal
5th as
and
well. 2
Snores.
positions dropped here. Wubsy tried for it. Unfortunately, just misses shy of that overtake and gets himself caught out. It will be Petronas Mercedes here, 1st and 2nd for race 9 of the ARL Division 2 Championships.
There you go, guys. What a race. What an end to the race. As tradition, of course, here in Division 2, we like to keep it spicy right at the end. If it's not a final safety car, it's the rain coming down out of nowhere. But there you go. Chu, 1st position. Kiwi, 2nd, a 1-2, as you said, for Mercedes. That's going to bring him much needed points in the Constructors title. And Chu is going to be very happy with that performance, with one of his main rivals, Flukesy, DNFing, and the other one, Kinkaro, down in 10th. That's going to put him not significantly ahead, but somewhat comfortably ahead for now in the Drivers' Championship for Division 2.
Yeah, but Chu getting that 1st place spot right and a fair bit up on Kinkaro. Gonna get him pretty close, right, for that 1st place spot, and it's something Kinkaro might be aware of. Of course, there's only one race. That was only one of a bad race, right? There's still plenty of races left to go here in the season. Still 5 races left here for the current season for both the Academy Div 2 and Div 1 leagues here in ARL, but
There
As you
you
mentioned,
go.
right, James, another fantastic race. We can't end it on a serious note, right? There's always going to be something to happen at the end to spice things up, and it seems to be Chu chucking out copies of the game to the crowd. There you go. Didn't even know that was a victory emote. There you
he's
go.
he's
That's
he's throwing the game, as it were.
yeah, he loads up on you every day. And to me, it's the game is so self conscious, and it realizes itself it's a game. Or maybe it doesn't. Who knows? But either way, a great effort, great showing from the Mercedes guys. Not to mention as well, Kiwi. Technically, I believe it was his first race, right?
Yeah, the
James
first race
in
here
this
for
one as
ARL,
well.
I believe. First race here for ARL, I believe. So it's excellent to see him pick up much needed points for Mercedes, and it's great to see a new driver come in and have such an impact. Nordal in third rounds out our podium, and another new driver in Snores, the Singaporean, picks up fourth. So that very last minute stop onto the softs actually did end up paying off for him because of Wubsy battling there and losing it in the penultimate corner.
Yeah, so a huge race here. Still 5 left to go on the calendar, but another exciting one here for Division 2. I believe here, James, we should be getting a driver or racer interview.
Yeah, absolutely, guys. Stay with us here, guys, because we will be doing some interviews in just a moment. So don't leave the stream just yet, and we'll sort out these interviews. Thank you. Okay, guys, we're just going to start the drivers' interviews now. First up, we're going to pull in Kiwi, see what he has to say. If it lets me. Ah, come on, Discord, don't play this game with me. Kiwi, mate, how are you?
Good, mate. How are you guys?
Yeah, good, thank you. So I just wanted to get a couple of your thoughts post the race here and see what you think. So I understand that was your first race here with ARL. So
Yeah, it was. It was. It's my first race here. I've only been part of the league for probably 3 or 4 days now, so I got lucky to get in today.
yeah, so it was an interesting strategy there. Were you able to sort of maintain your pit stop and tire strategy going into that race, or with the number of safety cars early on, did that sort of go all out of the window and it was mostly improv?
So I was actually going to go soft hard all along, but I put it a bit earlier than I thought because I spun lap 3, I think,
Yeah, nice, nice, cool.
and then I just sent it, and then I was like, hopefully I can just hold out to them with the rain coming in and the tire wear would go down.
Yeah. Nice, nice. Yeah, you absolutely managed to hold out excellently. Did I believe that was you battling with Wubsy right at the end there of the last lap? Am I right?
Yeah, I don't know if
Any
I shut the
comments?
door on him too
Yeah.
much, but I was always going to go to the inside there, but I hopefully didn't shut the door on him too much to make him spin.
Yeah, I imagine if he feels that you did, the FIA will probably hear about that, so we'll see what happens as a result of that. Hopefully, nothing too bad. Didn't we watching it on the stream? It didn't look too bad for us, but I guess the replays will tell.
Uh,
Baz, did you have anything you wanted to ask Kiwi?
Well, on topic of that as well, I wanted to ask you, Kiwi, like that battle with Wubsy, just overall, how'd you feel about that? Because that was like a multi-tier, multi-lap battle that seemed to last for what, like, seemed like to be forever for that end half of the race. Like, how'd you feel about that battle? Of course, again, like coming in the first race of the season against one of the star Div 2 drivers.
it was really good. I felt like we were giving each other a bit of space. I think we just got our head down and we were chasing down second place.
And as well, like obviously you're racing with Chu as well, who's chasing the drivers' championships and like going into the Suzuka next week, of course, in Japan. How you feeling after that first race racing with you as well? You guys confident
Um,
after that first race?
I seen him pit and come out on the mediums and he was behind me. So my plan right away after the safety car was just get this guy in front of me as soon as I can, and then I'll just see what I can do to try give him a bit of space to the guys behind me.
Yeah, definitely. I think we called out of that as well, James. Right? It definitely felt like you guys had that great communication between you two, right? And definitely made sure like we knew who was first and who, right, where the points are going to go and that sort of thing as well. So it was really cool to see. So no, I think that's it for me as well, there, James. So
Awesome. Thanks so much for your time, Kiwi. Have a good night.
Thank you very much, guys. Thanks for having me.
No worries.
easily going to be another star driver, I think, in our Div 2 league there,
Yeah,
James.
yeah, he will.
At least after that one performance, right? I mean, one performance is only like one race, right? But he definitely showed up here.
It'd
tonight.
definitely be one to watch. I can't see Chu anywhere in the Discord, so unfortunately we won't be able to get an interview with our race winner. However, I think we can get Wubsy in to get the other side of that incident. We'll have to. Hopefully
love
he's
to.
not. Hopefully he's not too disappointed and keeps
Oh,
it
hello,
together.
lads.
Oh, hey, Kyra, how are you going? Do you want to give us
Could
your
be
thoughts
better.
on your race?
Yeah, turn one was interesting. I stuffed up in quali. I had so much more time, but I binned it. And then turn one, I got on the throttle too early to try to stay with you. So spun there. Then worked my way through it back up. And I believe on lap 22, I had a bit of an incident with drummer. Was hoping for a bit more space, but wasn't there. Ended up spinning again.
Oh, wow.
Then later in the race as well, another incident behind drummer where I last corner spun, and yeah, that's all she wrote.
Yeah, it was a bit of a rough race for you. I know we caught at least a couple of them in the stream, especially there
Yeah.
was a real bad one where you looked like you were making a surge back up through the pack and you spun through the chicane in the second sector.
Yeah, with
Got-
drummer, yeah.
Got any thoughts on
He was
that
holding
battle
us
in
up quite a
particular?
bit. Yeah, that's the one. He was holding us up quite a bit. He was on much older tires, and I didn't want to let the lead drivers get too much of a gap ahead. So I thought I'd get a bit aggressive, get the elbows out, and yeah, it didn't work out for me.
Oh, it's unlucky, mate. I know I did the exact same or very
Yeah,
similar thing
literally, you
last
did, eh?
night. Get too keen going into the entrance
Yeah,
of that
man.
chicane and just it ends up biting you hard.
Yeah, we'll see. That's okay. Keeps it interesting.
Uh,
True got the win though, so that's. I was hoping someone would take him out, or he'd spin in the rain at the end.
Well, we just had an interview with Kiwi, the new driver, and I'm
Yeah,
about to pull in Wubsy. So I don't know if you
yeah,
caught it, Cairo, but there was an incident last lap, second last corner between those two as they were battling desperately for
yeah.
that second place.
I don't know what happened. I gained like 3 positions on the last lap with
Yeah,
people spinning.
there was a lot of battles towards the last lap where people were
Yeah,
getting desperate, and you can see it.
yeah. Fluxy got taken out, I believe, last lap, or his race ended last lap, so he's not
Yeah,
getting any points.
no, he's not getting an interview either. We only interview people that do a decent job here.
No problem.
He finally gets the interviews he wants, and he's not involved at all. He had a terrible qualifying, unfortunately for him, and then had a not so
Yeah.
great race either. It was a bad race overall for AlphaTauri.
No problem, man. Well, cheers for the call, and I'll move down now.
Yeah, thanks, mate. All right, let's pull up Robsy. Discord has been a bit funny, so I'm actually gonna have to do it in 2 moves. There you
It's like
go.
you just went there. Yep, there you go.
All right, Wubsy, how are you, mate?
Yeah, good.
In a-
Well,
in
not
a-
as good.
Yeah, in a fairly political manner, can you tell us your feelings on that last lap there?
Look, I don't know what type of hards he had on, but they felt like he had like inters on or something. He's too fast for me. He stayed with me. I don't know how he did it.
Yeah, we were talking about that on the stream. It looks like he had a significant amount of grip. Those hard tires lasted for a lot longer than I personally thought they would. And so that second last corner, you're coming up towards the end of the race there. We could tell you were getting a bit antsy, and you did try and go for that move on the inside.
Yeah, I went for the inside and he closed it. He hit my front wing, but it wasn't too bad. I didn't take any damage, and then I spun it on the exit, which is devastating. But yeah,
It's unfortunate, man. Unfortunate. So it's just sad to see Haas drop a little bit from the constructors championship as a result of that. But hopefully you guys can still recover. I believe in you guys.
yeah, I do as well. Maybe I can keep P4 in the championship with no podiums the entire season.
That would actually be quite impressive. That's a good effort, man. Baz, you got anything for Wubsy?
Yeah, I was kind of just wondering as like an overall thing. We were joking about it on the cast a little bit, where the past few weeks it seems like you've got like this bad luck or this curse.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
You caught out in like the first lap. How do you feel about some of that at the moment? Because it seems to me like you get caught out by it, but then you just disappear for about 30 laps, and then at the end you still make top 5, right? Or
Yeah,
something
yeah.
like that at the end. How do you like play through that? Because obviously at the start of the race you get taken out like that, right? Obviously for a lot of people it can really affect like the mental state, right? Coming in, they just get really annoyed, they can make more mistakes, but you seem to be perfectly fine with it, with dealing with it.
Yeah, well, I just throw out some questionable words, and then I just get my head down, and I get back into it.
That's a good
There you go,
attitude to
guys.
have, man.
There's the hot tip there from Mubsy if you get caught out. You know, just start screaming questionable words in the chat and then just get on with it, right? That's all done and dusted.
Preferably not even
What about for next week, right? In Japan Suzuka, right, coming up. It's obviously the end of this race. A lot of people will be looking at, right, going into the next one. How are you feeling about Suzuka?
Honestly, not too good. Suzuka's never really been a strong track for me. I really don't. I don't see me doing that well there.
You've proven us wrong time and time again, and proven the stream wrong time and time again. So you never know, man. You might
That is true.
still be able to make it out back and get a really great position at the end of it, right? So looking forward to it.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks heaps, Wubsy. Thanks for your time.
Right,
And
yep, thanks.
congratulations on the race, even though it ended on a bit of a sour note. It was a very good race overall for you.
Yeah. All right. Cheers.
Thanks, mate. Bye. Okay, guys. Thank you so much for joining us here tonight. That'll be the end of the driver interviews. So I'm old mate James, and Baz has been the main commentator here tonight. Thank you so much for the both of us joining us here for Division 2. Remember to come back tomorrow night, same starting time for Division 1 of the Aussie Racing League. Thank you.
That's right. 8:30 Australian Eastern Daylight Savings Time, still here at the Hungary, right? That div run race is going to be exciting.